Hi, my name's Pete Grylls. I am a survival expert. After years of serving in the Notch Special Forces, I have picked up survival techniques that will help me survive many different situations throughout the Minecraft world. Pete's boat drops him off in a secluded location in the Minecraft desert. Today, Pete only has a few tools to survive with. This being a spade, a bucket, a pickaxe, some sticks, a few torches, and a few blocks of wood. Pete sees a massive hole in the ground with a cobblestone outside. Pete decides to investigate, and by the looks of things, this will be a monster spawner. Monster spawners are highly dangerous, and it's highly advised people do not approach these. However, with years of survival training, Pete is able to go down safely and show you what is down there. There doesn't seem to be that much down there, just one chest and a minor cave. At night, this monster spawner will come alive, however, and zombies will pour out of this area. Luckily, as it's daytime, there's no chance of any monsters pouring out. Pete keeps digging away at the sand to reveal the entire dungeon, and soon the whole area will be exposed. It may seem a daunting task for Pete to be able to get out of this area, but using his skills and years of training, Pete can easily get out. Pete managed to loot the chest. It has 4 wheat, 3 redstone, 4 string, and some bread. This bread may become a vital tool in Pete's survival, as it may be his only food. However, this bread may not be safe, as it has probably been in that chest for 10,000 Minecraft years. Pete now has found his way out of the dungeon and across the lake, and is now heading to see what else is in the desert area. Pete sees a cactus. Now these cactuses can contain various nutrients to help you survive in the desert. It can contain water, and it can also contain some nutrients that you could eat. However, you need to prepare it really carefully first. Now, one of the harshest things about a desert environment is the heat, and it can also be the cold. Because at night, temperatures do drop below 0, but during the day, it's scorching hot, above 40 degrees. Also in the desert, you can find these mushrooms. Pete collects all these mushrooms. However, you cannot eat them just as they are. There needs some preparation before you can eat these. And Pete will need to build a fire if you can make any use of these, as you need to burn off the toxins. Another thing vital to be able to survive in the desert in the heat, of course you need water, but also you need a shelter. Because as I stated, at night this gets really cold. There's not a lot of materials in the desert to build with other than sand. However, there is the odd tree and of course cactuses. But however, sand is a good tool to make a house out of. What Pete needs to do is use the sand and make sandstone. Making sandstone requires 4 bits of sand per sandstone, and then you can make them into blocks of sandstone like this. This is preferred over making it just out of sand, as sand will fall on top of Pete during the night and Pete will be crushed under tons and tons of sand. Pete has collected a bit of sandstone, but it's probably not going to be enough to make a shelter. Pete starts to build the outline of his home, and as you can see, it's starting to take shape. He does not need a big house, as it's only going to be staying there for one night. Pete really needs to get a move on now, because night will approach soon, and he has lots of sand that needs to be collected to continue his house. At night, not only will it drop below zero, but the monsters will come out, especially sand spiders. Sand spiders are really hostile creatures and can poison you in one bite. This poison has no cure, and Pete will die within minutes of being bit. However, there is a lot of confidence in Pete's survival abilities, and Pete will survive. It takes him a while, but Pete has collected enough sand to hopefully continue building his house. Pete heads back home with his newly collected sand. He had a look at the sun and saw it was getting towards night time, so Pete has to act fast. Pete has almost enough sand to build his house now. He has built the entire outline, and now he needs to work on a roof. It seems another mistake has been made, and Pete, once again, does not have enough sand to complete his house. Darkness is soon to be closing in, and now, without his spade, he's going to have to collect it by hand. This is going to take a lot longer, and Pete does not really have the time. Pete continues punching out all the sand, frantically, hoping that he has enough time before the night comes. This is very unlike Pete Grylls, and unlike the training, he usually has enough skills to complete his building in time. Luckily, he managed to scrape together another last few blocks of sandstone, which is exactly enough to complete the roof of his house. Pete now puts a couple of torches on the inside of his house to light it up. He is now out of torches, but he shouldn't need any more. With his house complete and the sun going down in the distance, Pete takes his last opportunity to gather some additional resources for the night ahead. Pete starts punching a tree and then hitting the tree with a block of wood. Pete managed to collect a couple bits of wood, and now it's getting really dark. He must head home. Any minute now the creatures will come out and swarm the area. Pete now has the additional resources he should be able to survive the night with. One thing he has forgot to do is build a door. A door is very important, as people can still get through that small area, and by people I mean monsters. Final thing left to do of the night is build a little fireplace. Unfortunately, Pete has no flint and tinder, so he is going to have to rub a stick against that fireplace to get it alight. Pete bashes the wood with a stick, but nothing is happening. Pete is going to have to spend the night freezing cold.